Jungle echoes. Rescue and mystery. Every creature in the jungle seems to have an enemy. Tapirs are stalked by jaguars, monkeys by anacondas. Young animals are always in danger. But every so often, the jungle does something no one expects. When this happens, it could mean the difference between life and death. And when it does, it's my job to be there. One afternoon, the jungle froze. Leaves trembled, but no wind blew. From the underbrush, eyes glowed yellow, unblinking. Hungry, the predator was ready. And just when the chase was about to begin, the forest did something no one expected. A peacock stepped forward. Its feathers weren't just colors, they were fire and storm, moving like waves, glinting with ancient magic. The predator paused, confused, stunned by what it saw. For a heartbeat, the hunt turned into something else entirely. But first, let me tell you how we got here. It all began near the salt rocks. There are patches of bare, flat stone in the jungle where minerals are exposed. This makes them a little different from everything else around them. Animals come to lick the rocks, and the jungle deer are especially fond of this. They gather at dawn and dusk to lap up the salty water that collects in pools or seeps through the soil. That morning, a young fawn had wandered too far. Alone, fragile, unaware of the eyes that followed. A panther had stalked it for hours. Shadows were its friend. Silence, its language. And then it spotted the rock clearing. The deer were gathered close, their sides heaving as they drank. Any one of them would be easy prey. But the mother of the fawn was watching, ears swiveling. She would not let the panther get close. So the hunter waited in the brush. Disciplined, patient. She knew the deer would leave soon, one by one, and then she would make her move. But while she watched, something else left the thicket. A peacock, regal and still, as if waiting. It stood for a moment, then stepped into the clearing and started walking toward the deer. The peacock had beautiful iridescent blue and green feathers, and its tail shimmered with bronze and gold. It stopped a few feet from the nearest deer, which lifted its head and snorted. The others did the same, their eyes flickering between the peacock and the panther. The peacock ruffled its feathers and stared back. It seemed almost aggressive, but it wasn't giving the deer any warning. Suddenly, the fawn stepped forward. It was the youngest of the group, and the mother of the fawn froze. Her daughter had walked right into danger. The panther crouched low, her muscles coiled tight. She was ready to spring. In a flash, she would be on top of the fawn, teeth bared, claws extended. And yet the peacock took another step forward. For a moment, nothing happened. The jungle held its breath. The hunter was on the verge of making her move, and the fawn was frozen, staring at the peacock as if mesmerized. But just before the leap came, the peacock moved. It didn't fly away. It didn't try to hide. It walked toward the threat. Then the most incredible thing happened. The peacock spread its tail. It unfurled like the sky breaking open. Blues shimmered into green, gold spun into violet. Every feather caught light in a way that bent reality. Then it danced. It didn't flee. It spun. It turned. It shook the earth beneath its claws. Feathers rattled like distant drums. The air vibrated. Even the trees seemed to lean in. The panther blinked, its muscles locked, breath caught. It couldn't move, not because it was afraid, but because it was entranced. The predator forgot the prey. It stared, eyes wide, confused by beauty it couldn't understand. The fawn, unnoticed, fled into the thickets. The dance went on for only seconds. Then the peacock stopped, slowly backed away, and vanished into the ferns. By the time the panther looked around, it was alone. The deer were gone, and there was no sign of the fawn except for tiny tracks in the mud. The hunter padded after it, careful not to disturb anything. She wanted to see the end of the chase, to make sure her prey was okay. As she pushed aside leaves and vines, she saw something strange. Scattered on the forest floor were the peacock's feathers, each one glinting as if newly shed. But the peacock was nowhere to be seen. What had just happened? Where was her prey? Had it gotten away without her noticing? Was it hurt? The panther called out, her voice echoing in the stillness. There was no reply. Days went by. The jungle pulsed with life, but the panther couldn't shake the memory of that morning. It haunted her, not with fear, but with confusion. Each time she looked into the forest, she half expected to see the peacock again. To her surprise, she felt as if it were testing her, daring her to follow. The panther hesitated. Usually, instinct told her what to do, what was important, where to find prey. But in this case, something inside her was screaming, "Go after it," while something else was whispering, "Don't." Finally, curiosity won. The panther slipped into the thicket. Vines snagged at her fur, thorns tore at her paws, but she pressed on, driven by a need to understand what she'd seen. Deeper in the foliage, sunlight filtered down in golden shafts, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. The panther stalked through the ferns, careful not to crush anything beneath her paws. The forest was alive with sound crickets chirping, a toucan calling, the rustle of unseen wings. But the panther heard nothing over the pounding of her own heart. Finally, she found it. At the base of a towering tree lay a clearing. In the center was a large fern, taller than the panther itself. and surrounding it were feathers, hundreds of feathers, each more brilliant than the last. They formed a circle around the fern, as if guarding it, and in the middle of the circle was a single footprint, perfect and pristine. It was the size of a leopard's paw print, but instead of claws, there were delicate webbed marks, toes spread wide. The panther's mind reeled. What kind of animal could make such a print? What creature lived in these parts? And where was it now? Panic welled up inside her. The jaguar shook her head as if to clear it. She knew this game. She'd played it before. Hunt, capture, eat. Simple. But this time, the roles were reversed. She was the prey. The panther backed away, stumbled over a root, and landed hard on the forest floor. She tried to get up, but her legs gave way. As she collapsed, she saw a pair of eyes staring at her. They were yellow, bright, and dangerous. And above them, a beak opened wide. The jaguar had been trapped. To hear more of these stories, don't let the echoes fade. Like, comment, and subscribe to Jungle Echoes. Rescue and mystery. Sometimes distraction is the sharpest weapon. In the world of Jungle Echoes, I bring you stories from the heart of the wild, where even feathers can carry ancient secrets. My stories are inspired by India's rich cultural heritage and tribal myths that have been passed down for generations. Each episode, I invite you to explore the raw beauty and untamed spirit of nature. Join me on this journey of discovery and let the echoes of the jungle resonate within you. Did you enjoy the story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Together, we'll explore the untamed wilderness and uncover the secrets of the wild. Your support means the world to me. Thank you for listening. Until next time, may your spirit roam free like the wild peacocks in the vast expanse of the jungle.